Hey, what is up everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at Dogecoin, which is currently up 5%. Now the entire market saw a bit of a rally during this week, but Dogecoin in specific has been on a bit of a tear recently, where it's rallied from 16 cents to 19 cents, which I think is a 15% profit within a few days, which is insane. So yeah, Doge performing really well, and in today's video we're going to be jumping into exactly where I think it could be going over the next few days, what we're doing with it, my exact strategies and everything like that. But before we jump into it, I want to ask you guys to check out the Discord down below. You can see on the screen right now just how many trades our members have been winning from simply joining, copying and pasting the trades we're sending out to them into their own exchange, and then the trades hit their take profit and they keep the profits. It's insane. Make sure you join up, start copying and pasting those trades, and in the Discord you can also learn all the strategies that I personally use to trade so you can start trading for yourself as well. Now back to the video. So Dogecoin has been rallying quite well, as we said in the beginning. Our initial entry was at 15 cents right here for Doge. If you go back to a few videos, this is the 0.786 level on the fib right here, and overall 0.786 area on the fib is usually quite a good DCA level and quite a good entry for trades as well. So already there's confluence there, and this level also matches up with a support right here that we previously bounced from, and I think also a few resistance taps right here. Now overall, obviously we're not looking for a 15% profit or 30% profit from our initial entry, which is where we're currently at right now. 30% profit isn't really that attractive to us unless we're using leverage, in which case this would be like 300+% profit because 10x leverage is quite small. So yeah, well, we're not looking to take profits yet unless you entered and you really need the cash, or you think that there's a better position out there. Maybe you see an altcoin that hasn't yet rallied and you think really has the potential to rally. Well then yeah, sure, you can take the 25-30% profit and move it into there. Then you have obviously 30% more capital to play with. But in my opinion, I think Dogecoin still has a way to go, at least to the next fib level, which is here at 22.3 cents, and would give us 47 or 50% profit. Now other than that, I'd really be looking to take profits a lot higher, 48 cents, 50 cents, somewhere around here. The lowest probably maybe 39-40 cents, somewhere here for a 2.6x, but really we're targeting a 3x on Doge at least. Again, we're in such a good stage right now where a lot of coins have fallen off so much that entries from here just to the previous highs, not even the all-time highs, would be significant profits, like 3x's at a minimum. So that's why there's such good value here. Obviously it's quite hard to put value on crypto as it's not as intrinsic as stocks because a lot of them don't produce revenue, but it's regardless, I think great value if we're just looking at it from a price action standpoint. The market didn't yet get Trump as a president. We got the thought of Trump as a president because obviously he won the election during the peaks here, but now we actually have Trump as president, and all those effects that essentially Trump wanted to put in place and people thought would be put in place are getting put in place right now. So we're sort of in this stage where it's like the 2021 bull run. It's not that evident on Dogecoin because it was heavily manipulated by Elon, but it's more noticeable on Bitcoin right here. And if we go back to 2021, you can see we initially get a huge rally, and this rally is purely news driven or driven by the halving, whatever. Then we get this dump, which is again like a 50% dump, much more significant than it is now, simply due to the fact that now we have a lot more investors in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is a lot more dominant. So we have ETF investors, and essentially that is keeping the price more stable than it would be back in 21. And after that we saw a final leg up on the bull run, which obviously topped out slightly above the previous highs. So if we're just sort of using this as historical data, and we're entering towards the lows and just targeting the previous highs, we usually always hit the take profit. So I think it's good to go off of some of that historical data as well. And as for Dogecoin, yeah, we don't have Elon manipulating it as much as it was in 21, because in 21 it was still a very new concept. The richest person in the world promoting a meme coin. It was very new. And then obviously we had like SHIB with Vitalik and whatnot. So it sort of led the way to meme coins as we know them today, and I think Elon embraced it very well. And simply due to him embracing it so well, that sort of effect, the Elon effect, has Constantinoed, and we don't really see it as much anymore. We could still see it during the bear market, where whenever he'd really tweet, we'd get these spikes in price. Now whenever we get those tweets, we don't see a 10, 20, 50% pump like we did back then. Now it's a lot lot less prevalent, really. You know, it's going to be maybe a 1% pump, if that. Again, that's also probably due to Dogecoin's inflation economics or tokenomics, as more Dogecoin is being created every day. Obviously, Dogecoin isn't a store of value either. It's simply a transactional crypto. You know, there needs to be more of it in order for it to be properly usable. So that's very important. So again, you know, every day it's already worth less and less and less. It's like the US dollar, but that's not to say that it can't, you know, continue to rally as the US dollar rallies against other currencies as well. So it's still important to remember those factors. And again, we're not targeting the all-time high, which is at 75 cents, because I don't think it'd be, you know, a really smart move. Tokenomics here were still not great, but we didn't have as much inflation, or we did have inflation, but we didn't have as many inflated tokens as we do now. So I don't think targeting, you know, to get to 75 cents, 74 cents, it's going to be very, very difficult. There needs to be so much more buying power than we had in 21, and I don't think we'll necessarily get that. But to target the previous highs, I think it's very, very feasible. And again, you know, when the entire market is going up, the entire market is usually going up. A lot of the news for Dogecoin that could have happened has happened. You know, it's got its own department in the government as the Department of Government Efficiency. Next big moves for Doge would be its ETFs, maybe a spot on the crypto reserve, but I think for the sake of crypto, it's best to only really use Bitcoin and Ethereum, and maybe just even Bitcoin in the crypto reserve. I think Solana, XRP, ADA, the other alts Trump mentioned are not viable options. I think, you know, we need an ETF created for like the top 50 altcoins and the top 100, sort of like the S&P 500, but we can have like the CP50, the CP100, you know, for crypto. I think that would be a very, very good addition in ETFs, but I think that will come after we have individual ETFs for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Sol, AVAX, DOT, you know, all the like top 50, then top 100. So yeah, it's still in the works. It will come though. There will be a day, and that's when you'll really see crypto start. So because the S&P 500, you know, if we zoom out, it's been in a bull run for realistically, you know, since 1871. You know, the S&P has been on a rally ever since then, more significantly. And since 1995, we did see obviously a lot of dips, which, you know, we haven't seen these sort of dips in a very, very long time, apart from obviously COVID. But yeah, I mean, once that comes, we will see how it reacts to crypto. Now for Bitcoin, what we're going to be looking at is, again, it needs to break above and actually use this as a support level and continue this bullish momentum and actually be able to stay above 90,000. If not, we're going to head to 75, maybe 69,000 on BTC. And again, Doge and all these other coins are going to fall with it. It's not like, you know, Bitcoin falls and these other coins won't fall. The entire market will fall. So all is reliant on Bitcoin, and dominance just consolidating. It needs to start dropping off as well if we want to see any sort of real movement. And that's practically it for today's video. If you did enjoy, please do make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to be getting my trades every single day, then check out the Discord down below. Very easy to join up and very, very easy to start copy and pasting those trades. If you need a place to buy, sell, or trade cryptocurrency for the lowest fees with the best sign-up bonuses, then check out all the exchanges we're working with down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye, guys.